Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, and it is time for my NFL Week 4 picks and predictions. Week 3 was not good for me, but it's okay because I told you in that video Week 3 is not going to be good for me or for anyone else. I saw way too many home underdogs, and guess what? A lot of those home underdogs ended up winning. We saw the Jets win, the Bears win, the Redskins win. I told you that was going to happen, but I told you I didn't have the balls to pick that crap. Now we have a normal week. We're going to do well this week. Let's have some fun. I was 7-9 last week, but trust me, I will bounce back this week. But I was still 3-2 for my Ganndamntee, so still in the positive for my Ganndamtees. Money being made if you listen to me. So with that said, let's talk about week 4. Let's start with the Thursday night football game, as we always start with the Thursday night football game. And we have the Chicago Bears traveling to Green Bay, taking on the Green Bay Packers. So congratulations, Bears fans. Okay, after my ranting last week, you finally won a game. So now you deserve some credit. If you can win this game, you deserve a lot of credit, but I don't think that you will. I think you go to Green Bay and lose, but this game currently has a 7-point spread. I think the Bears cover this spread. They stay within 7 points, but they ultimately lose this game to the Green Bay Packers. And see, people were using the Packers game last week as evidence that they're overrated. Y'all can keep calling them overrated all you want. They're going to win the division. They're going to go to the playoffs and likely to the NFC Championship. Why? Because they've done that for 2 of the past 3 years. Sure, maybe they'll only win 10 or 11 games. Guess where they're going to be? In the playoffs and at least the division round. Keep betting against the Green Bay Packers. Next game, we have the New Orleans Saints at the Miami Dolphins. And this one has an upset alert to me. Although I am not high in the Miami Dolphins, and last week proved that as they lost to the poorest New York Jets that aren't looking that porous lately, I'll give you that. It concerns me, this game, because the Dolphins won week 1, right? They beat the Chargers in LA, so that tells me they could beat New Orleans in London. This I could see, but I can't pick it because the Saints played really well last week. And you still have Drew Brees, right? You have Drew Brees versus Jay Cutler. I gotta pick Drew Brees, but would not shock me if Jay Ajayi, Devontae Parker, and Jarvis Landry eat up this Saints defense that's still pretty bad, people. I mean, do not let last week's good game against the Panthers and their bad offense trick you too much here. So I'm going to pick the Saints to win this game because I trust Drew Brees, but I think the Dolphins cover the spread. That's only about 3 points for the Saints right now. Next game, we have the Buffalo Bills at the Atlanta Falcons, and the Falcons are 3-0. They continue to get it done. They do not appear at all to be suffering from a Super Bowl hangover. Good for them. I like the Falcons this year, and I had them losing the division, but this was before Greg Olsen's injury, and last week showed you that was kind of a big deal. So as of this moment, I have the Falcons winning the NFC South, returning to the playoffs, and right now, they're the best damn team in the NFC, the Atlanta Falcons. So I'm picking them to win this game in Atlanta against Buffalo, their new home stadium, their raucous. They should get it done against the Bills, and the Bills, hey, they're 2-1. The Bills are 2-1, but they're going to be 2-2 after this week. But Sean McDermott, he's helping this team. He's definitely getting a little more out of them than Rex Ryan did. We'll see what their final record is, though. I'm not buying all in on the Bills quite yet. Next game, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens, and you know what? I can't fall into the trap. The trap here is, I believe, hopefully I'm right on this, the trap here is, we all know the Steelers are a better team. Okay, I'm sorry, Ravens fans, you don't believe it, that's fine. The Steelers are a better team than the Ravens, but as we know, as we've seen for the past, 10 plus years, these teams split. We know this for a fact. They split. That's their move. It doesn't matter how better one team is than the other. They will split. That's their move. This game is in Baltimore, okay? And it comes a week after the Ravens were embarrassed. This game comes after a week where the Steelers weren't embarrassed, but they lost to a team that they probably shouldn't have. So I like Baltimore in Baltimore. I think they're a better team in Baltimore. I think the Steelers offense isn't firing on all cylinders like it should be right now at this point in the season. Okay, so I think the Ravens can keep the Steelers score down. The Ravens do just enough to win at home, but the Steelers return the favor later on the season. I'm not going to fall for the trick here because we know the Steelers are a better team. At least I know that. Okay, and the Steelers to me will finish with at least 2, 3, 4 more wins than the Ravens by the end of the season. But For the beginning of the season, I think the Ravens start out 3-1 and the Steelers start out 2-2. We move on to the next game, Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns. And look, Browns fans, y'all are the worst team in the league. I mean, honestly, the Browns are the worst team in the league. Right next to the 49ers. You can debate that all you want. Have fun with that debate. I think the 49ers look better than y'all. Okay, so with that said, I can't pick the Browns to win anything. I mean, I like DeShone Kizer, but he's a rookie. And as a rookie, he's giving, right now, honestly, bottom 7 quarterback play, bottom 5 quarterback play relative to the rest of the NFL. He's not good relative to the rest of the NFL, although I think he will end up being so. He's not right now. Interceptions left and right. The receiving core is not good. But guess what then? Your offense isn't good. Your defense isn't good. The Browns aren't good. And the Bengals showed signs of life last week. I told you about this. I told you after they fired their offensive coordinator, you were going to see Andy Dalton return to his older form. Last week, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, played well. AJ Green bounced back. Joe Mixon's starting to run well. This Bengals team is about to start to win some games. Now, they'll be lucky if they even finish 8-8, because to finish 8-8, they have to go 8-5 from here. But I think they get it started here. Again, Andy Dalton's not bad. We know this. We know this team isn't that bad. They've made the playoffs 4 straight times before last year. They're fine, and they're going to start to prove that now after them going to Cleveland and getting the W. You have the LA Rams at the Dallas Cowboys. Rams 2-1. And perhaps this is the sneaky team this season. Perhaps this team will finish 10-6 or something. But man, I don't see it yet. And they're going to Dallas, who I absolutely believe will win the NFC East once again. Although, as I predicted before the season, the Eagles are entering that conversation. We'll see who wins that conversation. But for now, we saw Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott bounce back on Monday Night Football against the Arizona Cardinals. I expect more of the same here. I think this will be a high-scoring affair. I think Goff looks good again. I think Gurley looks good again. But the Cowboys eke out the win in Dallas. We move on to the next game. My favorite game of the week, because it includes my favorite team, of course, the Tennessee Titans traveling to Houston, taking on the Houston Texans. Guess what? The Texans looked good last week, but again, as I always tell you, I don't care. I don't care how good you look in an L, okay? Because the Browns will look good in next week's L and that week's L, but there's still going to be L's, okay? The 49ers look good in the L against the Seattle Seahawks in week 2. It was still an L, okay? And they're not very good because of it. So, look at this game. The Titans are the better team, people. Okay, I think people are starting to realize that, and as the NFL season progresses, it'll become more and more evident. Although Deshaun Watson appears to have some quarterback abilities that are worth the NFL level, he doesn't have enough. And Marcus Mariota is playing at a higher level right now. They have a better quarterback play, running back play, wide receiver play. I know they have DeAndre Hopkins, the Texans do. Who else? No one. Titans have the advantage. Tight end advantage. Offensive line advantage. Entire offense, entire, from top to bottom advantage. Defense, okay, Texans. Texans have the advantage there, but when you give me the quarterback, give me the team. Give me the Tennessee Titans to go to the Houston Texans and get the W. Go 3-1 to start the season and really start to put some separation between them and the Houston Texans this season. You can call me biased all you want. I'm 2-1 picking Titans games. I'm going to keep picking Titans games. We move on to the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings. So, this game's difficult. The Lions, some would argue, should be 3-0, but Golden Tate's damn knee was down. Check the damn replay, you blind fools. His knee was down. They're 2-1, but they're this close to being 3-0. But again, I don't care about being this close to anything. We look at the Minnesota Vikings, and damn it, I knew I should have stuck with my Vikings pick last week. Okay, I tweeted before the Bucs and Vikings game, okay, Bradford's out, I'm going with the Bucs. Foolishly so, because as I said in last week's video, the Vikings are good at home. On the road, I don't know about that. But in Minnesota, the Vikings are good, and they're dangerous at home. We've seen them now dominate, for the most part, the New Orleans Saints, and absolutely dominate the Bucs at home. Now they're getting the Lions. I expect more of the same. It's in Minnesota. When Minnesota's in Minnesota, I'm picking them. Unless they're facing like the Patriots or something. They're going to finish the year at least 6-2 to me at home. I had to pick the Vikings at home. I'm picking the Vikings at home to beat the Detroit Lions. Carolina Panthers at the New England Patriots. And again, I'm sorry, I wanted the Panthers to win this division. Actually, I didn't really want them to, but I picked it, so that's why I wanted it to. But it's not going to happen. Without Greg Olsen, no. And now Kelvin Benjamin's suffering injuries, and Cam Newton has not bounced back. He's the same Cam Newton. He's a little better than he was last year, but not much better. So we have problems with Cam Newton right now. The Patriots, yes, they almost lost to the Texans. Look, if you're looking for, oh, this team almost lost to that, then who's good? Because the Packers barely beat the Bengals. The Patriots barely beat the Texans. The Falcons barely beat the Lions. It looks like everyone's barely beating somebody or barely losing to somebody. So what's your record? Just tell me that. Because we can't keep track of this team barely losing to that team because that team, no. Who's good? If you win, you're good. You lose, you're not. That's my motto. So we have a situation here where the Patriots are good. They're 2-1, okay? And we still know they're a Super Bowl contender, while the Panthers are 2-1, but they're trending down rather than trending up. You got to give me the patience to win this game in New England, and I'm not sure how close it will be. We move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars at the New York Jets, and look, all right, see, the Jets won a game this year, and I told y'all before the season, look, the Jets are going to win a game. Okay, I thought it would only be one game, and they're on pace for better than that now. Okay, so that's good. Well, let's not get carried away. The Jets aren't good. They're not good. And they're hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars that every other week are good. Perhaps this will be the week that they're not, because, you know, that's what we're on pace for at this moment. But they have way more upside. I mean, they have everything the Jets have, plus offensive talent. There's no reason why they shouldn't get this done, even in New York. So give me the Jags, but it would not shock me if the Jets won this game because both these teams are just too unpredictable. Well, the Jets are pretty predictable. The Jags are way too unpredictable to begin this 2017 season. Move on to the San Francisco 49ers at Arizona Cardinals. Upset alert, upset alert, upset alert, upset alert, upset alert. I have to have one stupid pick a week. You all know this. I have to have one stupid pick a week, and look at it. I have the 49ers going to Arizona and getting it done. Look, although it's easy to say that every single 0-3 team is going to lose this week and be 0-4, this probably isn't true. One of these teams is probably going to win. Like last week, how all those 0-2 teams, a lot of them didn't finish 0-3, right? Because eventually you have to win something. And it's likelier to happen at the beginning of the season than in the middle. The 49ers have showed signs of improvement. Last week, their offense was on fire, and they've had about 10 games off since then. Kyle Shanahan is working on this offense, and the Cardinals are trending down. They're not looking good right now at all, and they're coming off of a Monday Night Football game. Yes, this is in Arizona, but the 49ers almost won this exact game last season. It was 20-20, and the Cardinals got it done 23-20 because of Chandler Catanzaro field goal. Give me the 49ers to go to Arizona and get their first win of the season. That's my bold prediction this week. We move on to the Philadelphia Eagles at the LA Chargers, and I'm done. Okay, I've tried 3 straight weeks. I've tried for 3 straight weeks to pick the Chargers to win something, and every week they let me down. I can't do it again. And watch, as this is the week they get it done. Because this is why God hates me. He does things like this to me. It has to be the Eagles. The Eagles are good. I knew they'd be good. I have them going 9-7, but I felt it could be better as long as Jeffrey stays healthy. And right now, Alshon Jeffrey is healthy. Okay, and until he's not, they're good. Eagles get it done on the road. But watch as the Chargers finally reach their potential just to spite me. We move on to the next game, New York Giants at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I got to go with the Bucs. Although, again, what I just say about these 0-3 teams, you know, it's so easy to say, okay, 0-4. No, some of these teams are going to win. Chargers, Giants, Bengals, Browns. Obviously, one of them has to win. Some of these 0-3 teams are going to start to, you know, course correct this week. Perhaps it's going to be the Giants, but I just can't pick it, right? Because the Bucs are coming off of an L. If they're coming off of 2 straight wins, then I could see it, but the Bucs are going to be a little more desperate for this game. It's in Tampa Bay. The Giants have too much drama going on with Odell, Dog Beckham, and all that crap. I can't keep up with this crap. Oh, Dog Beckham. Let's call him that. I have the Bucs winning this game, but the Giants scare the hell out of me because they're going to start winning games at some point. Like, you can write off the Giants, and perhaps you should, because they're probably not going to make the playoffs at this point. but they can finish 8-8, okay? Like, they can go 8-5 from here, okay? And that's going to be dangerous for other teams facing them from here on out. We move on to the next game, Oakland Raiders at the Denver Broncos. I wanted to pick the Raiders because they had such a bad week last week, and Derek Carr has to bounce back. Man, he ain't that bad. But damn, man, the Broncos in Denver, they're good. Okay, and I have to stick with them at home, and Broncos at home, Vikings at home, Patriots at home. I got to stick with these rules. They're pretty good rules to follow. Okay, so the Broncos at home, I'm picking them. They dominated the Raiders last year in Denver. Although Carr was not playing, I think the result might have been the same. So I have to stick with the Denver Broncos to win here. Indianapolis Colts at Seattle Seahawks. And look, it's the Seahawks, but the spread for this game is way too high. It's like 13 points right now. The spread for the Seattle Seahawks, no way. Okay, the Seahawks ain't been blowing nobody out. And as I told y'all for weeks now, the Colts ain't that bad. Okay, now I know they only beat the Browns last week, but they ain't that bad. Okay, they're going to bounce back, especially when luck comes back. Give them the Seahawks win, but not as far as many people think it would be. And then if we move on to the last game, Monday Night Football game, Washington Redskins at the Kansas City Chiefs. And Redskins, they got it done last week. And see, doesn't it look stupid now? Then I tell y'all week 2, everyone was saying Rams are going to beat the Redskins. People, the Redskins ain't bad. That's why I say don't fall in love with week 1 results. Just because the Redskins lost week 1, everyone said, okay, they're not good. What? They're pretty good. Look at their roster. Quarterback, pretty good. Okay, defense improving. And we saw that last week. They could go to Kansas City and win this game, but it's in Kansas City. Kansas City's hot right now. They're 3-0. If I'm a Chiefs fan, though, I'm not that optimistic because I'd rather be hot near the end of the season than the beginning of the season. Sustaining this play right now for the Chiefs, I don't see it. Do you? That's my problem with the Chiefs right now. But for now, they're good. And until they're not, I'm picking for them. But it would not shock me if a Minnesota Vikings 2016 fall or Philadelphia Eagles 2016 fall may be on the horizon. Just look out for that because they're a little too hot to start the season. You want to be hot near the end of the season. Watch out for that for the Kansas City Chiefs right now. All right, so with that said, we move on to my Ganndamntees of the week. And we're going to start with, again, the Indianapolis Colts plus 13. I think this is way too much giving up right here. The Seattle Seahawks, although they're going to win this game to me, Jacoby Brissett should be able to stay within 10, okay, or maybe just 10, but 13 and a half I've seen. I think that's way too much right there. I have to go with the Colts to cover that. How about the Washington Redskins plus 7? Okay, I think they can finish within 7 points of the Kansas City Chiefs, although again, I think that they would lose. It would not shock me. The Redskins just came out, won this game, and we're like, holy crap, the Redskins might win the NFC East. It would not shock me at all if they had this kind of result this week after such a great game last week. And next, Ganndamntee, I'm picking the Titans again. I got the Titans minus 1.5. I think the Titans have now covered 2 out of the past 3 games. They covered against the Seahawks. They covered against the Jags. Why not continue the trend? I'm very confident in them beating the Houston Texans this week. Next game, we have the San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals. And give me the 49ers plus 7 in this one. Again, I think there's going to be a close divisional contest. And perhaps the Cardinals will actually win. But I think the 49ers can finish within 7. And then last game, Atlanta Falcons minus 8 at home against the Bills. Although the Bills have been finishing close to opponents or even just beating them, I think this week they're going to get a bit of a balance, if you will. I think the Falcons will pretty much beat them pretty handedly. Devontae Freeman's playing great right now. The run game is looking great right now. And Ryan had a bad week last week and they still won. Okay, so give me the Falcons minus 8. So there you go. Those are my NFL Week 4 picks and predictions. Again, we're going to bounce back this week. I told you last week was hell. I knew it. Way too many home underdogs I saw. This week, I think we're better off, and they would be much better this week, and you're going to see me bounce back with a nice week. Until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And I'm out. See you all later.